What's up guys, welcome to another episode on my channel, Totally Inspired. This is a channel where we talk all things leadership and all things lifestyle. This is where we try and help each other to be more and do more. And thank you for those that have subscribed to this channel, and if you haven't yet done so, please do click the subscribe button right now. And if you like this video, please don't hesitate to like it and don't hesitate to share it. Well, you might ask what we're going to be talking about today. Well, today we are going to be talking about what to wear, where. So what do you wear to what occasion? But for now, let us stop over and listen to our jingle.
Hello queens, hello phenomenal women, hello inspirational women. This is your girl Sibo Dube. Welcome to Totally Inspired, a channel where we talk all things leadership and all things lifestyle. Before we get started, please hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, because you don't want to miss out on this content which has been created with you in mind, so you can enjoy a full life, because girl, you deserve it.
Obviously, from that introduction, you know that today we are not talking leadership. Today we are talking lifestyle. And being a Friday, what a day for us to be talking lifestyle, because the weekend is around the corner and some of this information that I'm going to share today might be helpful. I want to start with something that is very interesting. So I have been invited to a high tea in the next few days. I will be attending a high tea, and one of the things that I asked when I was invited to this high tea was, what is the dress code? Because the invitation just said dress code high tea, and I'm thinking, okay, what does that mean? Well, for those of you that have never been invited to a high tea and might be wondering what's going to be happening, what that is all about, maybe when you do get invited, this video might help you, because I'm just about to break down how you dress to a high tea. So to make sure that I give you the right advice, I think I must first clarify what high tea is. And I checked around, I Googled to find out what other people describe high tea as, and I came across this definition. It says here, outside of the United Kingdom, many people refer to afternoon tea as high tea. Although the idea that high tea is a meal of foods like scones and finger sandwiches is common, it is not actually correct in a traditional or historical sense. I also didn't know that, so that's something to learn, that high tea is actually not about scones and finger food. Let's find out. Afternoon tea, also known as low tea, is what most people think of when they hear high tea. It involves things like manners, lace, and dainty foods. It is typically served in the mid-afternoon. So that's another definition. But you know what? Let's not be too hard on ourselves. We call high tea what we think it is, and try our best to actually stick to the etiquette that comes with an occasion like that. So when you prepare, your outfit, your high tea attire, one of the tips that I found was that you think of an outfit that you typically wear at a daytime wedding or a day out at the races, like when you're going for horse racing. And I picked up a few pictures from the internet, and this is what I saw. So these are the tips for a high tea. And some people love to wear gloves, others love to wear fancy hats. And what struck me is the amount of color that is there, or the flow of the dresses as well. That also struck me. I thought that was really nice. So this is not cast in stone, but this is what I found out. So next time when you're invited to a high tea, what you can consider wearing. Secondly, what to wear where. When you're invited to a wedding, you find that some people will tell you that there's a certain theme that they want their guests to wear, and others will not state. But one thing that I know is a no-no, a complete no-no, is to wear white to a wedding. Or some people say actually wearing black as well might not be okay to do at a wedding. Again, these are just views that are out there, but those two colors are frowned upon, because firstly, when you wear white at a wedding, unless you are asked by the bride and the groom on your invitation to wear white, if you wear white, you are taking away the shine from the bride, who is supposed to be the person that is standing out on that day in her beautiful, spotlessly white dress. Of course, you know, there are some brides that will choose other colors for their weddings, for their wedding gowns. But the thinking behind not wearing white to a wedding is that you're taking away the shine and the focus from the bride, who is the focus of the day. And as for black, why they discourage black, those that say they would rather not wear black to a wedding, it's because they say you have turned a wedding into a funeral. Again, that's people's views. But the etiquette that some people follow is that they wouldn't wear black to somebody else's wedding. It is also important to note that when we're talking about wearing black at weddings, here I'm referring to ladies mainly. So men, don't get confused and think you can't wear your black suit to a wedding. Of course, you can wear whatever color suit which actually corresponds with the occasion. So just take note of that. Thirdly, we're talking funerals now. Like they always say, there's a time and place for everything. And the funeral is probably not the best place for you to test your most flashiest outfit. Whilst in some funerals, you know, some people will say they want people to come dressed in a certain color, maybe based on what the deceased has requested. Maybe that will be permissible for you to dress in flashy colors, but generally it is frowned upon when you come wearing your flashiest outfits. And in many funerals, it's been seen that people actually use that as a platform to share some of their fanciest clothes. Well, it's open for your opinion and discussion. Do you think that it's okay for people to actually pull out their fanciest outfits at people's funerals? Some people say it's a sign of showing that you really value this person and you will not underdress or treat their last send-off as something where you wear something flimsy. I think for me, it's about having a balance and making sure that you are not disrespecting anybody and making anybody uncomfortable during the funeral service. So it would be nice to hear your views about how you feel about people that pull out their flashiest outfits at funerals. Does that show that they're being self-centered and focusing more on themselves and looking for attention? Well, it's open for opinions and discussion. I'd really be keen to hear what you have to say. When it comes to funerals, another thing to consider is cultural and traditional backgrounds. Did you know that in China, for example, the color for mourning is actually white? Whereas in countries like the Philippines, a widow is expected to wear purple for whatever reason. That is the tradition. And in many parts of the world, black is known as the color for a funeral. At funerals, I'm sure there are things that people can avoid wearing, things that will make other people uncomfortable. When you realize that you're wearing things that maybe are too revealing or are showing your bare skin, that on its own makes people shift their attention from the program of the day. So the general rule for me, I think, would be for you to be able to wear something that is not going to be distractive or take away what the focus of the day is. When you find yourself drawing attention to yourself because of what you're wearing, that should be a sign that something is not right. Another thing to note is that every Sunday, many people leave their homes to go and attend a church service of some kind. And the church is a place where a particular dress code will be seen or viewed or perceived as acceptable or inappropriate. Now, different churches will have different standards of what they expect of their congregants. I know, for example, there are churches where you cannot wear pants if you're a lady, where you cannot wear makeup or even wear earrings. That is what they believe in. And if you're a lady and you do not conform to those standards, obviously you will attract some kind of attention which might not be necessary. So it's important to understand where you're going and make sure that you do not offend or upset anybody. At the same time, we need to understand the fact that churches are a place where people need to feel welcome and not judged, because all sorts of people come there. So churches should be a place where they embrace everybody regardless of the way they appear, including the way they have dressed. It is hoped that after a while, if you continue attending that church, you will understand what they view as appropriate and as inappropriate. However, may I stress the fact that Everyone should feel welcome regardless of what they are wearing. As long as you realize that when you walk into a place, you're not causing unnecessary attention and taking the eyes of people away from the program of the day. I think for me that is the important thing for people to note each time they wake up on a Sunday morning to go and attend a church service. I hope that is helpful enough, because one cannot even define how you should or shouldn't dress, but it's all about discretion and understanding the environment in which you are going into. Next, I would like us to look at what to wear to the office. Of course, people have different working environments. Depending on the industry that you're in, you will wear what is appropriate for your industry. I know, for example, the creative industry, if you're working in the creative industry, you find that there is more liberalism in terms of what you can come wearing. It's less formal, it's more relaxed. I went to a company the one time where I found even the CEO was in flip-flops, and that was totally acceptable. So for me, the most important thing is to understand what is permissible and what is allowed in your line of work. Obviously, if you're working in say an engineering space, you need to have the safety gear on, and that is totally non-negotiable because that comes with the territory. However, if you're working in an office environment where perhaps you have you are office-based staff, you're not operating in places where you need to keep safety measures as strict as working in say for example a mining industry, how do you come dressed? I mean, that is a daily struggle for many people. What I would advise is, whatever you do, just make sure when you show up, you put your best foot forward and people can take you seriously in terms of coming in clean clothes and making sure they're pressed and ironed, and of course that you are presentable and you're not causing anybody discomfort once again, because you don't want your colleagues to be distracted by what you've come to the office wearing. Without being restrictive to anybody, I mean, you can wear what you really feel comfortable in when you're going to the office. However, just be aware that whatever you wear, you are making people form an opinion about you. So make sure that when you choose that outfit to go to work in the morning, you are actually using your discretion, because you are already building into your brand and the impression that you're creating amongst your colleagues. So to help you conceptualize what is a no-no in the office environment in terms of dress code, here are some things that you should never actually wear to the office. So for example, you can't go to the office wearing pajamas. That is totally inappropriate. It's the same thing with gym outfit, active wear. That is not appropriate for a working environment, unless of course there is a special day where employees have been asked to come dressed in that particular manner. Another thing to consider as well is you cannot wear clothes that reveal your undergarments. That is totally unacceptable and also inappropriate for the work environment. Also, off-shoulder tops. When you wear an off-shoulder top and that is revealing to your upper body, it can actually reveal a lot of things, so you are better off not going that route. Clothes that show your cleavage and your tummy, those are the type of clothes that are not appropriate for a professional environment. And finally, please keep the animal print to a bare minimum. Try and minimize on the animal print of any clothing that you wear to the office. Well, with this information that I've shared, I hope it gives you ideas on what to wear, when, and where actually. So thank you once again for joining me, and I do hope you found this video informative and fun too, because today we're focusing on the lifestyle aspect of the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell and share this video with somebody whom you know will benefit immensely from it. Until next time, happy Friday. See you on Monday actually, because on Monday I'm posting something on leadership. Take care. Have a good weekend.
So there you have it, queens. Hope you had been inspired by today's video and that you'll go out and be more and do more, because you deserve a full life. Before you go, remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of this inspiring content, and do share my link with your circle of queens. Until next time, keep inspiring.